Have you ever experienced the strange feeling of, wait, have I done this before? What is déjà vu? Today we're going to explore the different theories, and then I'm going to share with you the one that resonates with me the most. The term déjà vu is French for already seen, and it was coined in the 1870s by a French philosopher. First, let's start with some of the scientific theories, such as the memory glitch theory. This suggests that déjà vu might occur when the memory formation and memory recall process misfire, and that the brain might incorrectly tag a new experience as something familiar. This happens in a part of the brain that deals with familiarity. Next, we have the temporal lobe theory, and the temporal lobe is crucial to memory processes and also might experience a brief misfire. These disruptions can cause false sensations of familiarity. Stimulation of the temporal lobe can artificially induce déjà vu experiences. Next, we have the dual processing theory, where the brain is processing information through two parallel pathways. This is also sometimes called the decoupled familiarity hypothesis. This is described as the feeling of familiarity coupled with the feeling of being at odds with your own awareness of the current situation. Now let's move on to some of the theoretical explanations, such as the matrix glitch theory, which was popularized by the movie The Matrix. This is the theory that we're living in a matrix and the simulation simply glitched out. Then there's the false memory theory, and this is the idea that you might be confusing a dream with an actual real memory. Although that can lean more into the precognition theory. And this is the idea that some psychics will foresee the future, even in dreams or visions before it happens. Then we have the parallel universe theory, which is the idea that another version of ourselves on another parallel timeline might be intersecting with our current memories or perceptions. Some people even speculate that déjà vu might be a glimpse from our past life where we experienced a similar situation. And now, as we get more into the spiritual theories, I want to share with you the one that resonates with me the most, and it comes from the book Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. This information is coming from Chapter 14, Preparation for Embarkation, Case 28. However, I want to give you a little information to fill you in on where we're at so far. Okay, so Dr. Michael Newton was a master hypnotherapist in the 1960s, and he had a doctorate in counseling psychology. He was a huge skeptic. He went into this work doing the more traditional stop smoking, losing weight type of hypnosis, and through his work, he came to an accidental discovery about past lives. And he tried to debunk them, but as he asked more and more questions, he found that people had information and access to things that they never experienced in this life. So he developed a style of hypnosis called LBL, life between life therapy, because he said, instead of trying to figure out what people did in their past lives, I want to find out what happens between lives. What happens when we're not incarnated into any life? And through that journey, he discovered that each and every soul not only has a soul family and a group of souls that they continuously incarnate with. These souls that we incarnate with, we actually select the role that we're all going to play into each other's lives, in the ways that we're going to affect each other, the lessons that we're going to learn, the relationships that we have, the way these relationships will end. So it's a combination of a predetermined destiny that our own soul chose, and a mix of free will once we get here. And after putting over 7,000 people under hypnosis, he was able to create a detailed map of the spirit world, where he was able to determine what happens after death, what happens before we're born, what are we all doing on the other side, who else is there, where are our loved ones, how do we stay in touch with each other, and how do we decide to come here on Earth. Okay, so now let's get back to Chapter 14. So after a soul has decided the life, the body, and the soul contracts with the people that they're going to incarnate with, there's one very important step before they're born. And that's when they go to what Dr. Michael Newton calls the recognition class. And this is where you meet up with all different important souls from your life, and you're shown very important moments and crucial people that you will meet. So when you're experiencing déjà vu or synchronicity, it's oftentimes things that you went over in that recognition class. Although the moment of deja vu might not be super significant, if you observe the decisions in your life at that time and the people that were in your life at that time, or who was around and what was going on and what are some of the crucial moments in your life at that time, you'll be able to see that actually this is a part of my soul's journey. Okay, so now with case 28, when he was in that recognition room, some of the signals that came up were very important moments, even though they might seem insignificant to us here from our perception. One of them was when he was 7 years old and he was in front of his house talking to a neighbor, and the sun just so happened to glisten and reflect off of her silver necklace. Now, this was not a big moment in his life, but this was a very important friendship that he had with this woman before he moved. Now, another one of these important moments from the recognition room was when he met his wife. And on one of their first days meeting, while she was laughing, he experiences deja vu. And this was a memory from his recognition class. This was how he would know that he was on the right path and this was the woman for him. So Dr. Michael Newton asks, well, what was your wife's signal in the recognition room so she would recognize you? And he said, oh, that I was going to step on her foot during our first dance. Now, you might be wondering, if we chose to be with a certain soul before we were born, is that person going to incarnate in a body that we would find attractive? Actually, this comes back to the recognition room. We are shown what our partner will look like, and that actually influences the type of people that we're attracted and drawn to once we're incarnated. I want to share my own profound experience with deja vu. So about a year ago, I was in Costa Rica and I was doing ayahuasca. The first night of my ayahuasca ceremony, my heart just finally ripped open, broke open. I felt the love of the universe. I felt the love of God. I felt things that I had struggled to feel for my whole life. And during the ceremony, I had the feeling that I wanted to get up and look at the altar in the middle of the room. And so I got up, stumbled along to the altar, and when I looked down, I saw little figurines there. I saw a parrot, a bird. I saw a jaguar. I saw a couple of other little crystals and trinkets, and I was staring at them like, where do I know that from? Wait, where do I know that from? Why do I know that candle holder? And I'm standing there and I'm like, why do I recognize all of this stuff? And then it dawned on me was, oh my God, wait, I saw the night that my heart was going to be healed before I was ever born. And I knew at that moment that this was divinely guided for me to make it there, and that all of the things I experienced that made me have a closed heart up to that point were also all divinely guided, leading me to the point where then my heart would be healed and opened up, and that I would actually be able to feel the love of the universe in that way. I highly suggest checking out Journey of Souls. It's a life-changing book. You can find the free audiobook here on YouTube. Also, if you're interested in doing a soul journey hypnosis, it is a service that I offer. I use the Dolores Cannon method, which is slightly different than the Michael Newton method. I highly suggest that you check out my soul series. It has hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. However, I put all the parts together. It's about 2 hours long here on YouTube. I'm going to link that below as well, and really break down what happens before birth and what happens after death. So if that's something that you're interested in, it was one of the most healing things for me to ever learn in my life. I highly suggest you do that. And if not, check out the books yourself. I also suggest Dolores Cannon's Between Death and Life, where it is so parallel. But if you watch the soul series, you'll see I'm going to compare the two books, and the information that comes through is just like so aligned. And this is how we know. Putting people under hypnosis, I've put people under hypnosis, I've been under hypnosis, the same information comes out again and again and again. So it's a beautiful thing if you want to experience it yourself, or if you want to read about others experiencing it.